Yeah, I definitely I see the inspiration. I know what's making them go in this direction, but just judging by the trailer, I don't know if I agree. Hey, what's up, nerd fan? This is your boy Gashawn. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, we're gonna talk about the Hawkeye trailer, the series on Disney Plus. So there are a couple things that I saw from this right now. First of all, obviously this is long overdue, right? In terms of Hawkeye just getting his due in terms of whether it was a movie or a series. I mean, obviously it was lobbied a long time ago for a Hawkeye to have a series of Black Widow. I'm not really sure why it didn't happen, especially at like the time where it probably could have done the most impact. Obviously, we know that Jeremy Renner has been through some legal troubles, which is why I think they waited so long after those issues to put this out. And I actually think that even plays into a way that they did this show as well, and we'll get more into that later. But it's here, right? Now, were there good things in this trailer? Yeah, by way of I can at least see the direction that they're trying to go. Do I agree with it all the way? Not necessarily, but and I'll get to that. I'm not just gonna say I hate it. There's some things that, so I get it. Number one, I see like the Die Hard references. I like that we're getting a sense of like the more action-based feel, obviously because it's Hawkeye. He's human, and a lot of his stuff is based on his skills in terms of hand-to-hand archery. And there's a lot of other things like him being an acrobat and a swordsman, when it comes to fencing and stuff like that, due to him being trained by Jock Duquesne or a swordsman in the comics. I wonder if we're going to see that, but once again, I'll get more into that later. And obviously, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run, which obviously features him and Kate Bishop, who will then take the Hawkeye name later on. So I see the influences of those things, and I go, okay, so I see where we're going, or where you're what you're trying to do, like what the atmosphere of this show is. However, I think certain things have happened too quickly. I think Kate Bishop is here way too quickly. I understand why Kate Bishop is here, because they're setting up the Young Avengers to happen. Makes sense. I get it. However, if you know the Kate Bishop character, you know that obviously she has quite a bit of training herself. She's actually not like this fangirl. While she does look up to Hawkeye because he saved her one time, she's not like, oh my God, it's Hawkeye. She's not like that. She's actually very blunt. A lot of that has to do with the fact that she suffered, like, I believe she was sexually assaulted in Central Park, which I don't know if they're going to go into that. I think if they had any balls, they would, and show that part of her strength is getting over that and her making herself a stronger person. Now, they could just do regular assault to say she got the crap beaten out of her almost to death, and then she still trains herself into physical greatness. They got it. But they should not skate over that. But either way, I think she would have been something great to bring in the second season of Hawkeye. I believe that the first season of Hawkeye, even though obviously we have not watched this, but the fact that she's in the trailer still lets me know that what I'm about to say is still on the right track here, which is I believe that season 1 of Hawkeye should have been just relegated to just him and fleshing out his backstory and really getting people a chance to just know him. And then maybe at the end of the series or the season, something bad happens to him, which makes him have to kind of disappear, which then in season 2, you enter Kate Bishop and he kind of has to come into this reality where someone else has his name already. And then we get a chance to learn more about Kate Bishop, and then their relationship has to kind of come together. Now, also in this first season, it would have been cool to kind of get to know. I didn't see his wife at all. I know they were just kind of focusing on how he was with his kids, not necessarily like his wife or anything. So I'm thinking maybe that didn't work out, and then you can kind of bring in Mockingbird because that's one of his love interests, right? Like I said, bringing in Swordsman and Trickshot, at least like his whole circus beginning and showing that he's more than just an archer, like really fleshing out how cool he is. And I saw they have some scenes, like that little scene when they had him throwing back the Molotov cocktail really fast. Like they are trying to highlight like how cool he is. They even have the little like James Bond moment, like with him with the running through with the suit. They are trying to kind of flesh out how cool he is in this, but they're trying to kill two birds with one stone, try to get him and set up Kate Bishop. And I get it, but I think there are certain things that just can't be rushed. And I think fleshing him out and then, you know, maybe introducing her at the end of the series so you know what's happening in season 2, then you get kind of that Matt Fraction run and it's kind of earned versus just giving that straight away, right? And then you can get into the, you know, I know Echo is supposed to be in this show, but then it's like, okay, so is Daredevil going to be in this? Because Echo is somebody who is kind of synonymous with Daredevil. That's who she came out for. That's who she beat the crap out of when she first got there. So I'm wondering if that's what we're doing here. But this is just me because obviously my opinion is based off a lot of things that I'm reading. Now, a lot of people won't know any of this stuff, and I get it. So I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it or anything like that. And I'm not saying there's not going to be things that I won't find to enjoy about it. But there's certain things that I would have preferred. And Hawkeye truly just being our first Hawkeye show, like Clint Barton. Like, let Clint Barton get his due. And then, afterwards, in season 2, bring on Kate. Now, like I said, I get it. They're probably trying to get the Young Avengers out here sooner than later. But why rush greatness? Because I think that's what it is. Like, don't rush it. Like, flesh them out. And then get Kate Bishop out there and portray her correctly. She's not like some goofy, like she's super blunt. I remember the Young Avengers tried to save her at her sister's wedding and she wound up saving them. Like, she's extremely skilled. She's super level-headed. She wouldn't be like, oh, that's the only, that you have more dangerous arrows? Like, she wouldn't have been like that, but I get it. It's this thing that Disney, you know, the MCU, they like to it's not really a word, like clownify characters and make them goofy and say jokes just so they can make them endearing to the audience. But she can be endearing by, you know, being almost like a traumatic figure as well. I think that'd be a cool way for them to do it. If they talk about her trauma, and even like Hawkeye has some type of admiration for that. And then once again, in the comics, her costume is also based off of, I believe, Mockingbird. She has like swordsman's sword. And Jessica Jones is around her a lot, right? And it'd been cool because, you know, when whatever happens at the end of season 1, if they wanted to do that, or the beginning of season 2, you know, they can have Captain America, you know, Sam Wilson be like, hey, you know, based off of whatever, here goes Hawkeye. Or you could do that, you know what I mean? Like, they're rushing that. They're kind of rushing that whole her getting the Hawkeye name thing, because that all happened, like, all that was earned for her in the comic, you know? But, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Now, I'm guessing maybe it'll be earned a different way. I can't say exactly what's going to happen. They might actually have Swordsman and Trickshot in here. They might actually go into some of his origin here. That might happen. But I think but I can tell it's not going to be the focus. I can tell. They're trying to get a whole bunch of things done here. And eventually Jeremy Renner might not even be here. And I think that's something that they're also aiming for because of all the controversy. Which would suck, because I think we all like Jeremy Renner as an actor. If we're just focusing on his acting ability, I think we all dig that, right? But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's just my opinion on it. Like, the trailer, like, it's pretty standard for the MCU. Loosely based on something, you see what the inspirations are, but still taking some of the characters left and not really fleshing out these characters and maybe even juxtaposing some things, because we know they're going to go all in for the Young Avengers. I'm saying that again because it's happening. Stature is already inside of the MCU. That's, you know, Cassie Lang. We already got Patriot. Wiccan and Hulkling, they're coming. We already got Wiccan and Speed. They're pretty much there. So we know it's coming. Kang is about to get introduced. So, you know, Iron Lad is gonna be there. So they're there. But I think they gotta, you know, kind of slow cook it. You know what I mean? Don't just rush them in there. But yeah, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. You're like, oh man, I don't care. This looks amazing. If that's cool, tell me what you liked about it. Have you read any of that Matt Fraction's Hawkeye? Have you read any of the Young Avengers, like Children's Crusade, anything like that? Have you read any of those things with Kate Bishop in it? Let me know how you feel about that. Until then, into the nerd.